We all know by now that a single black swan event can interrupt the flow of goods to our stores and result in empty shelves that can last for months on end. With so many factors combining to create a threatening outlook for our supply chains, our economy, and our financial markets simultaneously, it is safe to say that it is only a matter of time before the next emergency strikes. This means that many of the goods that we take for granted today may disappear from our local supermarkets, pharmacies, and retail stores, and even essential products that only cost us a few dollars may face huge price spikes due to dwindling inventories. Even an unexpected natural disaster can set off a panic buying wave that wipes out the stock of a certain product that can make a difference for you in a life and death situation. It seems that people are finally waking up to the fact that getting ready in advance for possible adversities and stocking up on medicine, groceries, and key utensils can not only save a lot of money in the long run, but also keep you safe in a situation when things get quite chaotic on our streets. After the pandemic broke out, we all got a taste of the feeling of being stuck at home with no access to the things we needed for an indefinite period. Even nowadays, people still get shocked when they see that a given product can just vanish from sight from one week to the other. So it's crucial to use the knowledge this experience has given us to better position ourselves for any challenges that may arise in the future. There is simply no guarantees that basic staples will be available forever, and stocking up on them now will be proven very helpful in critical moments. You can slowly create a backstock according to your needs and budget, but it's important to start before it's too late, because inflation will continue to send consumer prices to record highs for quite some time. That's why today we've compiled a list of simple and affordable items which have both domestic and survival uses that are set to soar in price when the next disruption hits our supply chains. But before moving on, we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Without further ado, here are 15 cheap items that are gonna get very expensive soon. 1. Bandanas. Some might think that bandanas are just useless pieces of cloth, but they couldn't be more wrong. Bandanas have many domestic uses. They can assist you with the cleaning by being used as a napkin. They can help you to preserve foods for longer when your containers don't have lids. Protect your hands against blisters while you're working in your garden. Hold your hair back. Act as a sling or a wrap, or even a cooling or a sweat towel. It can also be used as a bandage to cover your face from windy or dusty weather, protect you from smoke or virus inhalation, and of course, they have several survival purposes, such as marking a trail, filtering water, and attaching your gear to your backpack. You can soak it in oil to create a torch, and if you are in a complicated situation, you can also use it as toilet paper. Today, bandanas only cost about $1, but we have to remind ourselves that textiles are getting super expensive, and that's because the industry is having trouble sourcing cotton after so much production was lost due to extreme weather events in 2022. When an emergency occurs, it's safe to say they will skyrocket in price, and that they will not look like a simple piece of fabric anymore. 2. Band-Aids. Any sort of blister in your skin can leave you vulnerable to harmful bacteria and attract unwanted illnesses. Band-Aids are a must-have in any first aid kit for a reason. That's why you must stockpile them and keep them in a dry place so you can use them to protect your body from infections and further damage when access to medical care becomes limited. They can also help you with minor repairs such as broken glasses or mending an exposed wire. And you can rest assured that they will disappear from pharmacies whenever a disaster happens. Given that they are really inexpensive right now, you could buy them in bulk and store them in your pantry for the long run. 3. Bleach. In both survival and domestic scenarios, disinfecting items is really important to keep our environments free of bacteria and pests and maintain our space and our tools clean and ready to use. Bleach is a very cheap item that has many uses and could be a real lifesaver when things go south. It's also an item that's really hard to substitute and to DIY with other ingredients, which makes it so important to have it to hand and to stockpile before supplies are limited at the stores. There is no expiration date for bleach if you store it properly, so it is definitely worth your money. 4. Clean water. We often take for granted our access to clean water. However, we must remember that several parts of the country are already facing water shortages. During summertime, supplies get even more limited. And if you're thinking about long-term survival, you must start considering ways of purifying water using sources around your home. We never really realize how much we rely on clean water until our homes don't have any. Whenever a panic buying wave happens at our local supermarkets, bottled water is the first thing to go missing. Up until this day, we still see empty shelves where water is supposed to be. So when you have the opportunity, buy bottled water in bulk and large containers to store water for the future. In any scenario, it's crucial to have a reliable source of water to drink and to use for our daily activities. 5. Lighters. There is no such thing as too many fire starters in a survival kit. Domestic uses of lighters are quite obvious. Many of us use them to light up our cooking ovens every day. When the weather is warm, they're also very helpful for outdoor grilling. In times when you must be creative and improvise a heat source, lighters can make your life so much easier. They are very cheap right now, and you can find many different options available online and in physical stores. So choose the ones that better suit your needs and make sure you put them in a place that's away from moisture so they can last for a long time. 6. Needles. Needles are a commonly forgotten item when people are listing the products they will probably need during emergencies. They can be very handy in many different situations. You can repair your clothing, blankets, backpacks, and even shoes with them. You can use needles to stitch up cuts in a crisis. You can use them to close plastic, paper, or fabric packagings. If you're spending a night outdoors and your tent gets ripped, they can save you from having to spend a night in the rain or snow or being vulnerable to human and animal predators. Make sure to have different sizes and gauges of needles on hand to fix items, and most importantly, learn and practice how to use them. 7. Pain medication. If pain medications are hard to come by right now, and when we do find them, prices are higher than they used to be, then it's safe to say that when the next supply chain disruption emerges, it will be even more complicated to find painkillers. The truth is that survival situations and pain go hand in hand. For that reason, ensuring a stash of over-the-counter pain medications is a wise idea. You can save some money by buying large bottles of painkillers at wholesale stores, and you will end up having a cheaper price per dose. We should never underestimate the comfort that such medicine can bring us when medical care is not available and we must go on to keep ourselves safe. 8. Rope. Although you can make rope out of natural materials, you may not have the time to build one from scratch in a bug-out scenario, for instance. Rope is not just useful for the obvious reasons, such as moving large or heavy objects. You can actually use it to build a shelter, carry your gear and supplies, make a tripwire, and a clothing line. They can be used as fishing lines and to create fishing nets, a splint to secure broken bones in place, or a slingshot to hunt small prey. The uses of ropes are endless. Strong, sturdy ropes that won't be torn easily will become priceless items when things go south. Take the chance to stock up on them before everyone else has the same idea. 9. Seeds. Do you remember that during the pandemic, there was a massive seed shortage after people realized that our food supply chains were much more vulnerable than we all thought? Well, the same is going to happen when our food systems are broken again. When we think about the sustainability of life in an emergency, we must address the importance of growing our own food. That's what our grandparents and great-grandparents did during the Great Depression, and that's how they survived. If you have a garden, you can collect seeds and dry them for future use, but in case you don't, consider building a stock of many different seeds that you plant to start your own production of food during desperate times. 10. Soap. Many times, microscopic bacteria and viruses can make our bodies susceptible to diseases in survival situations. Personal hygiene is really important to regulate our health and to keep bugs and plagues away. Soap is a household staple that doesn't expire and is really easy to stock up on today. You can find many sales and buy them in bulk to make your dollars stretch as far as possible. Better yet, you can buy the supplies to make your own soap and produce large quantities to use now and in the future. 11. Socks. Even though some may say that a package of socks is quite expensive nowadays, they will be even pricier in the months ahead. Protection for your feet is crucial. Keeping them warm and dry is a huge part of survival, especially if they are exposed or traveling in the elements. At Walmart or at a similar retailer, you can find pairs of high-quality wool socks to store in your emergency kit. Make sure you have several pairs for every member of your family. They can also have alternate uses, so the investment will be proven worthy in the future. 12. String. We pay next to nothing on string today, but when things go south, string will not only be difficult to find, but you may also be shocked by the prices. Small strings are cheap items that can be very helpful in an emergency. You can use them to create a belt, replace a shoelace, or tie up more minor things that need to be contained. You can also use string as a makeshift blade for certain items. You can make traps, temporary repairs for equipment, so many other things with it. That's why you shouldn't forget to add it to your stockpile. 13. TARPS. There are countless uses for TARPS. You can create shelters to shield yourself from the weather, whether it's sunny, windy, rainy, or in case you're caught in the middle of a snowstorm. You can also use a tarp to collect rainwater or to catch drinking water from a clean source. They can be transformed into a sail or to build structures to protect yourself and your animals. Tarps are quite cheap and come in a wide variety of sizes, shapes, and colors. Invest in a handful of tarps to stock up before it's too late. 14. Thread. If you will need needles, then you'll also need thread. Learning how to use a sewing kit to mend your clothing and fabrics is key when you can't simply buy them at the store. Threads are easy to find and really inexpensive. Store a box of threads in your emergency kit to make repairs when needed. A single hole in a sleeping bag can put you in a precarious situation, so don't forget about this simple survival item. 15. Vitamins. If a catastrophe hits our country and changes life as we know it, our diets will become quite limited and we'll need supplementation to regulate our metabolism and to keep our health in check. Our ability to purchase and eat a variety of different foods may be compromised, so stocking up on vitamins now is a smart way to ensure that your family still has the necessary nutrients for survival and health. A multivitamin is a great option since it has many different vitamins put together to help save on space and money. You can seek discounts at stores and gradually build a stash for the longer term. Although many of these items may seem pretty unimportant right now, they will become critical supplies to have when the next crisis hits. For now, they're still easy to source and to purchase, but all of these cheap items are going to be very expensive one day. So let's enjoy the window of opportunity we still have to make sure we're well equipped for the challenges that are coming for us.